I want to respond to this video that Serve the People put out. We're going to watch some of it.
Are y'all racially profiling this man?
Well, I don't understand why I'm being arrested. Y'all arresting me by somebody else.
Names and badge.
Okay, so apparently, and I don't know the context. I believe this the Serve the People or just some protesters, Jalen Walker protesters, were at a community event, and supposedly, I guess, they thought they pulled this guy out of the event and thought maybe he was somebody different.
Numbers, please.
Give me my information.
Names and badge numbers, please.
Back off, please.
Okay. So this, I believe, is a new thing that police in Akron are now refusing to give names and badge numbers. And that, so I think the biggest, we're talking about escalation and de-escalation. And by refusing to give your name, I think it makes it more dangerous. It makes it more us against them. Because they're asking these people for their name, but we can't ask them their name. And I understand that they're afraid for their life, but aren't these people afraid for their life?
Let them go. I know we all look alike.
We got police out here racially profiling people, refusing to give their.
And I will say, I mean, I don't believe I see one police officer of color, not one.
Names and badge numbers at a community event.
That's not my name.
For the record, they just put cuffs on this man. They're calling him a name that is not his name at all. They're just racially profiling somebody. You'd figure at a community event they'd be on a little better behavior, but it's the same bull. I
sort of feel like that's true. They could just be disrupting a protest, which is also probably illegal. I don't know if police are required to give their name and badge number. From what I've read, it's on a municipality by municipality basis. In general, I guess police are not required by law to give their name and badge number. And I don't know what the law is in Akron on it. If anybody knows, please tell me. But more importantly, it's the relationships that we're tearing down during this summer.
Bullshit.
So look, if you notice, the police are all white and the people that they're policing are all black.
Thank you so much. Could we get some names and badge numbers? Badge number, ma'am.
So watch this.
Name it.
So she covers her badge. He asks her for the name and badge number. And so this is clearly an APD policy now, that they are not going to show you their name and badge number.
Badge number.
And which is strange because, like, she's clearly on tape. Somebody could identify this person. She's in public. Will they start wearing masks? I mean, that's the next iteration of this, that they're going to cover their faces.
Using a directive from Milet. Name and badge number. It's okay. We'll look you all up on your faces.
Why do we wait so long?
Now, these police are in a very stressful situation right now. They're all remaining calm, which is great, which is absolutely great. They have to, that's the other side of this, is the police are put in these really stressful situations. And I mean, look at this guy. I don't know this guy, but if I'm going to racially profile this guy, he looks like he's, from a suburb, maybe has anger issues. I have friends that are like this guy, and like, what's going on in his head right now? It can't be good.
Names and badge numbers, please.
Same with her, where are these people living and what experiences do they have with inner city people, low income inner city, and they might have some. I know police officers that have grown up in the inner city, and she might be, I don't know. But what, she's staying very calm, which is really great. But what I'm really concerned about is what happens after this. What is the conversation in the cruiser? How do they feel about these people? And I would imagine they don't feel great about them. I would think they don't like these people.
What's your name and badge number?
She says, I don't have to give that to you. And maybe she's right. I don't know.
Yes, you do. You're on camera saying you don't have to. Would you like to tell the reporter?
I don't know. See, there she goes covering her badge. I don't know if that's true or not. I just don't know.
Where's the reporter? She says she doesn't have to give us the name and badge number. Right now, sir.
I think maybe I heard a police officer say, not right now, sir. Maybe there's you can give it at a different time.
Name and badge number, sir. Name and badge number, sir.
And again, this guy is ignoring people. They just, and I get it. He's scanning the environment, making sure it's safe. But what I can tell you is that there is a clear, these are not people that are part of the community. That's how it feels. They come in to police. And so every time they come in, especially in a community of black people, they are seen as outsiders and threats and people that are antagonistic to black people.
Name and badge number.
Name and badge number. You're supposed to give up name
and badge number? Who said you didn't have to give your name and badge number?
So he's kind of communicating, right? But he won't say anything. So it's just problematic from a public relations point of view, which is, I think, very important for police.
None of them will give up a badge number.
I just feel like that's a very important change that has happened in the summer of 2022. Police officers are now not giving names and badge numbers, which is new. Now, this guy is good. So look, so this guy here, and I don't know, he's got so he's got, what has he got? 3 bars. He's probably a captain.
I'm scared, bro.
Okay, so this guy, look, his hands are down. He's talking to people.
Talk about calm down. I'm scared.
I just want to give you the information because
that's not my name, man.
Just calm down. And he got anxiety, everything.
So there, now, see, he's asking their name. Now, this guy might say his name. I don't know.
Derek, calm down. Put your hands down.
But he said,
put your hands down. So, so again, it's in this real, police. I mean, this is their role. They tell you what to do and you do it.
No, listen, why am I being under arrested? That's not my name.
Put your hands up. Just stand there.
Sir, we get your name and badge number?
Yep, 294. You're going to be good.
I don't think in this case he's ignoring him. I think he's just in another conversation. I don't know.
So why can't I leave? I didn't do nothing wrong. This the wrong guy.
So apparently, they called the wrong name. It could be just a way to disrupt a protest. I don't really know.
Yeah, Perez or something. Okay. That's not me, sir. They arrested me.
Sir, do you have an Ohio ID?
I don't have it on me.
Is he being accused of a crime?
Okay. I lost my ID. I lost my ID.
Point you had an Ohio ID.
Yes.
So you see, this guy here is demanding an ID, and generally, the general rule is if you have not committed a crime or accused of committing a crime, you do not need to give your identification. Now, does that increase the escalation of separation and antagonisticness of the situation? Absolutely, it does.
Can I ask you a question?
So what interests me is the psychology of all this. These guys, hey, I just want to know if you're the guy. Are you the guy? I'm not telling you your name, but this guy does tell his name. But still, he's being pushed of I'm not, you don't have to tell, you don't have to tell. And then we're like, what's your name? We don't have to tell, we don't have to tell. And it's just making this chasm get bigger and bigger.
Sir.
You do not have to identify yourself. You do not have to identify yourself. You are not accused of a crime. You are not witness to a
Saying my
crime.
name is Perez. That's not my name. I'm talking to him because I really
Not a
don't.
single one of these pigs are giving their name or badge number.
Listen, them young cops arrested me and said my name was Perez.
And I do think they put him in cuffs, I think, which is fine. Like, they do that just for safety.
I told them that was my
But, I mean, is it racial profiling? Like, hey, you look like that guy. Oh, really?
name, and they dragged me out my car, man.
And I do believe scientifically we have proven that people of other races have a hard time identifying people of other races. I think that's scientifically been proven.
I don't want no problem.
Which again is a big problem when all the police are white and they can't tell the difference between one black guy and another black guy.
I know what you're saying. Please let me go home.
Community event. Community
I don't have
policing, you know?
He said my name.
But what's interesting here is, so now this guy is here, and then these guys are now being more, like talking more. And I think this guy's presence has changed the situation for the better. He's trying to get a conversation. These guys now are trying to get a conversation, and I think when you don't have a superior there, that does not happen.
Perez, that's not my name. It's Derek. What is your name, sir? Derek, what's your name, Derek? Derek Snow.
You don't have to, you do not have
Okay, so he is telling his name. So, I mean, which is helpful.
to identify yourself. You do not have to identify yourself. Y'all are
I'm
breaking
trying
the
to come
law.
down, but y'all, I'm scared. Y'all killing us. I'm scared.
We got you, we got you.
I'm scared.
You do know that you don't have to identify yourself in this.
It's true. We don't have to identify, but you have to understand that it's escalating the tension. And I mean, you have to decide on yourself. You have the right, if you have not been accused of a crime or committed a crime, you do not have to identify yourself. But the tension escalates.
State of Ohio, unless you're witness to a crime or accused of a crime. Do you know your badge number, sir? Name or badge number? No, not coming up for you.
So, yeah. So, again, he's ignoring that request. How hard would it be to just give the badge number? I keep coming back to the escalation issue.
Like to break the law?
I want to know if he is breaking the law. I don't know.
I'm able to go. That's not my name.
Is this a police officer? Undercover police officer here? Undercover police officer right here. Community event, you know? Community event.
All I'm saying is that's not my name.
If y'all know these officers, please identify them.
So the only reason we got big problems in this city. We got big problems. It's us against them. And depending on whose side you are on, you're the us and they're the them.
We can figure it out because they refuse.
And I mean, just look, it's all white cops coming in, telling black people what to do.
Identify themselves against department policy.
They just dragged me out my car, sir.
He was running behind us. That's why we like.
Okay, I want you to try and listen to this guy. He's good.
Okay, but I should be.
I think he said you'll be okay.
As soon
He
as
called me Perez.
you were also
I told
chasing
him
him, why
that's
were
not
you
my name,
chasing
and he
him?
still dragged me out the car.
Who told y'all to chase him out of the...
But I gotta say, if this guy wasn't here, I think this would escalate sideways. Because these two cops now are emulating this guy's behavior, which is pretty good.
The community event.
Did you give them your information? Yeah, I did, but why do I gotta do that? That's not my name.
He did say he gave the information.
Is he witness to a crime?
For somebody?
Are you sure or are you positive? No.
Call me the wrong name. Whoever they're looking for is named Perez. That's not
Once
me.
we confirm that, will be done. That guy right there, watch him do it.
Once we confirm that, we'll be done.
It's the first.
And I guess he doesn't have an ID on him. A lot of my homeless friends don't have IDs.
It was the first.
Does Akron police doing Akron police stuff? Oh, we got the sheriff here too to break the law. You got a name? Oh, thank you for wearing your badge.
I didn't do nothing.
He said, "You're welcome." So that was interesting. That guy had a name badge on, and he said, the reporter here thanked him for that, and the guy said, "You're welcome." Basic communication.
All I did was go get some.
You decide to stop breaking the law and give us your name and badge number, ma'am? 98?
Okay, so now she gives the badge number. And I believe it's because the superior is here who is changing the dynamic of this environment.
Thank you. I thought a second ago
And then he thanked her, which is good.
you said you didn't have to.
He's a activist. He's trying to, press, which adds stress to this whole situation, but he has every right to, and I'm not faulting him at all, certainly.
Do that. Funny how things change.
Yeah, when the captain comes along, everybody gives up badges.
That's what it is. When the captain comes walking up, everybody gives badges.
Oh, so afraid.
Which is very telling. Like, are we going to see more high-level officers in the field because their officers are flaming the fire?
He can go. Just go.
And there he says, he can go. Just go. You see how he just de-escalated this whole thing?
Of course he can go. He didn't break the law unlike you guys.
National night out. Oh, look at this. They're ready to go
Community
right here.
policing, ready to bash some skulls in.
Yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that because without leadership of de-escalation on either side, this is just going to get worse. Now, the activists are trying to escalate, which is what an activist does. They want to see change, right? And by escalating things, if police officers start doing things illegally, brutalizing somebody, then it goes viral and it looks bad for the police and it helps the activists. So that's the role an activist plays. But the role a police officer plays is police officer. And it's very difficult because of the Jayland Walker situation, the Black Lives Matter situation. It's just ramping up and ramping up and ramping up. And I think we have police officers that are cool with it. Let's ramp. You want to ramp it up? Let's ramp it up. And that's where it gets really dangerous because then they get to put on their tactical gear. They get to pull out their smoke crap, and they're all about it. They are as happy to escalate as the activists are happy to escalate, and that is the problem. So how are we going to create a de-escalation scenario without having to get a captain? I guess he's a captain. I don't know. That's what I heard. How are we going? How can it be that, why did that female police officer suddenly give up her badge number when the guy with all the bars shows up? Why can't she just do that? Why can't she just talk to that guy? I mean, they weren't talking. It's bad news. It's bad news.